numbers.
And we live.
And we live. Okay. Hey,
Okay,
everybody.
finish your thought though.
Okay. Well, there's some things that are only going to be accomplished when we do them in numbers. So the click can't do it. The one church can't do it. You can't do it by yourself. I can't do it by myself, my, group or whatever.
Yeah.
There's some things that can only be accomplished by the collective. I'm going to say this, and, don't get alarmed. But if we have a candidate that we put forward, then we want as many of people in the collective who which that person would be representing to participate. And it may mean that you have to participate with somebody who has a different belief system. It's not the person that you're voting to put in office. It's important to know that they are moral, ethical, and will follow through, have some integrity and understand the level of accountability. When you ask for this voting block right here, that is inclusive of very many groups, which we call cliques, that we're going to hold you accountable. So it's not about oftentimes it's not about what needs to get done. It's about who's doing it and who we not going to do it with. I want to work with them. I don't want to work with you. But it's about what needs doing more than who you don't want to work with.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like last night, for instance, right? I feel everybody at the table have a good spirit to do something, right? Like, so that's not the point. And everybody was in there for Miss Grant, that candidate. If we don't speak or nothing, we was all in there for her.
Awesome.
So that's a collective, right?
Yes.
But to expound on it, see, I'm thinking deeper in that because, okay, we come together and we get her in there. That's when the real work starts. And that's when, okay, we got her in office. So how do we build on it? How do we, as a community, we can come together and say, I won't fool with y'all. I won't speak to y'all, but we'll get this candidate in there. But that candidate needs us to be building. Once they get in there, we still have to be doing something as a collective. That as for like the Chinese people, they one of the lowest voting blocks, right? They vote the least, but they got Chinatowns everywhere because they understand no matter who's in office, we have to do this work. So I'm more of that. We have to do this work, but I do understand if you got somebody that you can call. Like I don't care about who's running, but now that I talked to Miss Grant, that's somebody I can call. She's running against a lady that's giving us HELL with our thrift stores and all that stuff. Okay, that's incentive for me to vote. I can call her. She's understanding. She'd have pulled up to the House of Resources. Okay, like your black plan ain't where I want to be, but that's better than this other option. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not no lesser of two evils. It's so I can figure out some kind of way to build with you where the other side I can't build with at all. So I don't like the lesser of two evils because that's anything that sounds like anything that goes to talking points. It feels like I'm being programmed and I run away from it. Like,
right.
And that's what I told Ms. Grant last night. Do not tell my people that we got to vote just because our ancestors. Don't do that because that's a talking point, and we're going to run away from that because we don't want to be programmed. You come and sit in front of us and you tell us vote because of this. I'm gonna do this, and this is why you should vote for me. Okay, now we cooking. Now we doing something. Now I can go out there and stump for you and say she's doing this for us. She'll be a voice for us, and she'll step up to the plate. When we call, she's gonna answer. Even if she don't do everything or some of the things we want in our plan, just to be able to call and she'll answer and she'll come sit with us. That's something,
right?
So I get that part. I'm with that. Let's get her in there. But what do we do? Okay, say she's in there. Then what? Because that's our problem. We want somebody to get in there. Then we don't have a structure. We don't have a body of people doing the work on a day-to-day that kind of builds her up in there. And that's what we do. We vote, we pray, and then we go lay down and think everything gonna be okay. No, the work starts now. So that's when I'm like, okay, then I have to realize, like, to get her in there, I don't have to be cool with nobody. But if we all say we doing certain things and we all doing whatever we doing in our own little corners, how do you come out your corner to build with other organizations when you're just so far apart. And that goes back to what that's the part 2 of what we saying. Like we was talking about last week, the cliques to the collective. It sounds good, but how do you really do it where you can be? Because I don't want to be doing something just for show and it's counterproductive. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I want to do this where it looks like we're doing something, but we can't stand each other. We can't do nothing. We can't build. They whispering about you saying forget them. That's counterproductive. I might as well just stay away. I might as well just stay out the room if it's going to be counterproductive to me.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that's what it's. So it goes back to next week. So that's why I'm asking. After we get her, we can come together and get a candidate in there. Okay. Then what does it look like? The candidate is in there. What does it look like from the community point of view? Because now the community needs to put in the work. Now we need to do the real work. Now, what does that look like?
Okay, so you sound very hopeful. There's 2 candidates, or are there more than 2 candidates?
There's running. There's 2. There's 2.
Okay, so it's just 2.
Yes, it's just 2.
Now, of the 2, you have selected one over the other.
Yeah. Well, not. Yeah. I would say that. Yeah, I would say
you
that.
have, right? Now, you alone cannot vote that person in, correct?
Yeah.
But you, as a collective of people who are for that person, need to stay connected after they're voted in. You selected that person over the other person for a reason. You're willing to do the work, get the votes out, and get that person into position. I'm going to tell you what the work looks like on that instance, and then we probably need to talk on another instance. So this is just in the political realm, right? Mm-hmm. What's going to happen is you're asking this person to push forward your initiatives, right? Push forward, hey, this is the way we think. We want you to go this way on this vote, and this is why, and and we got our votes, and we voted you in, and we'll vote you, whatever, not, being negative about it, but the reality is that person steps up and says to this group of people who she has to work with to sway them to vote in the manner in which you all like, right?
Yeah.
As a collective, you got to be able to have her back. She got to be able to tell the other person on the board or on the council that, hey, the group that's backing me wants this. And this is what they're going to do if they don't get it. So let's figure out a way how we can get them what they want, because if you don't, they're not going to vote you in or me in next time. Or, they're going to withdraw their money from, a lot of times these people have businesses and things like that. You say you're going to see a drop in business. You're going to do something. So when we talk about working as a collective power looks different and feels different than the individual. Mm-hmm. You, Tony, can select a candidate, go check the box and get, but you can't, yours is one vote. What you want to do when you move in power is vote as a collective. Numbers of us have decided on this candidate because this candidate has said to us what your concerns are. And you have to, really ask them the questions, the what if questions. What if a reparations bill came down tomorrow? I don't know. But what if, some of the police reform? We want to know where you're going to lie, because we put you in there and all of a sudden you don't vote the way we need you to vote. That's going to be a problem. And it's not a problem because Tony said it or because Rhonda said it, but because the collective said it. So that's, to me, when groups and cliques have to stop clicking, we have to move collectively. We have to move together for the good of the group. When it comes to working together in the community, the way I see that is find where you fit in, get in and get busy. But I can't call somebody else off of their section of the wall to come over here and help me build my section. But we got enough people who are not engaged that we all need to be doing something so that everybody, when they wake up, they can go and build in the area that they're most comfortable in. Or where the work is that they would be willing to do. So I don't know if I kind of answered that or not.
I'm hearing it, and I definitely agree with you. I'm that person but I'm not a person that's gonna I don't force things, right? If it don't
Yeah.
come natural, if it don't come organic, I'm not gonna force anything, especially when it's trying to force it with some with a group or whoever that you know feel a certain way about you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
if you know I can't really stand you, and I done said this about you, it would be hard for you to come on Bridging the Gap Tuesdays and sit here and do business with me because you like, this dude's so phony. This dude, I know how you really feel about me. You know what I'm saying? So in that spirit, how do you still come and smile and say, how you doing, good brother, this and that or whatever, and you know the real about the situation? Or can you? I don't know. It's hard.
No, I believe you can. I believe you can, and you have to. You have the tough conversations of, I know we don't really fade, but this is important, so I'm gonna be here and you're gonna be here. I ain't got no heart. You know, when you always say to me, I ain't mad at nobody. You know, I don't have no ill toward anybody. I just can't work with you.
Yeah.
But if something comes up that we need to work together, you're not pretending. Don't expect me to walk across the room, hug your neck, and smile and grin for the people. No, that's not how we operate. Other people operate because you might look over and you go, oh, I know she can't stand her. He don't like him, and they all buddied up and smiling for the camera. Those are personal choices of how you choose as an individual to show up, and that's not anything that we can control. So we're going to be happy and healthy in what we can control. And we're going to be that bigger person when needed and necessary because of what we're building. So if I have to have a conversation with somebody, and sometimes I just have to leave people alone, but if I had to have a conversation, hey, what was that? How that fell out? Oh, okay, because I want to give them that opportunity to tell me, what was that? What happened? And you know, I don't know if it's just me, this sensitivity, just to be very transparent, it's like when you've worked with people for a while and people kind of drop out. So, your phone was messed up, right? So I'm like, here's a title for the show. James is coming. I'm getting no response. I'm like, man, I wonder, have I done something? Did I say something on the last show? He got some feedback. I don't know, Mom. But anyway, you have those thoughts that are based on your past experiences when you're working alongside people and they don't have the courage, the whatever it takes to say that wasn't cool. So you have the opportunity to go, oh, I didn't even mean to do that. If that wasn't cool for you, it's not cool for me. You don't have to worry. It's never going to happen again. And I think you touched on respect. I have to respect you enough. I'm going to ask the questions. If it's important to me, I'm going to ask the questions. If it's not important to me, I'm going to walk, and it doesn't impact what I'm trying to do, I'm going to walk right on through it. I'm just not. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not going to look for it. I don't like trouble. I don't like mess. And so if I see a hint of what I consider to be mess or somebody that's messy, then I'm probably not going to spend a lot of time around that person, like, period. But if we're in the same space, doing whatever, I think it reminds me of another way that I live my life. I absolutely can't stand black on black crime. So before I put the bad mouth on you, I would rather keep it to myself. Other people is like, oh no, I'm telling everybody. Everybody gonna know. That's not me. I'm not trying to. I don't know if I didn't, number one, give you, or either I know and I've learned. That's how you operate. That's genuinely who you are. And in who you are, these are the things you're able to accomplish. Okay. I can't accomplish them because that's not who I am. I can't operate in that fashion. Doesn't make one better than the other, good or bad. It makes us different. And so I think to go from group to collective, we accept our differences. We don't look for the differences, but when they show up, let's begin to look for what is the good. Where is the heart? Because, like I said, we come with all different kinds of experiences. There's some things I'm trying to see if I can think of an example of one. Oh, so I didn't watch it. It's one of my YouTube people that I follow, and they were talking about respect. And they have been disrespecting people that I respect. And I'm like, oh, so now I get to understand another level of respect. For you to disrespect somebody I respect, now I feel disrespected. And so really that's a conversation. Hey, did you that? I can now share that because I was encouraging, instead of just going, I ain't never listening again. No, there was value. I found value in that person. That person and I do not see eye to eye. But that joker got a way of thinking that is sometimes interesting to me, reminds me of a family members, different things that endear us to one another, And so he reminded me of my baby boy. And, man, I like how he speaks his mind, and I mean, I love that because I want to see more of that in the world. I want more people to be brave enough to say what's on their mind, what's in their heart, not worry about that sounds stupid. Like the last show, you like, Trump City over here. That was you, right?
Not really.
Yeah, you was like, you good with him though. You say, because he did this and this one ain't did nothing. I get nowhere.
Yeah, I wasn't Trump City. I just was speaking facts on who has hurt us more and who hasn't.
Exactly.
It wasn't that I was speaking sides. It was just like, that's just a fact, and that's what when I posted today. It wasn't about that, but it was just in general when I said that I side with truth, even if it go against what I believe. Because as a people, especially as Black people, we don't do that. If we believe something, we don't care about no truth. We're going to tell you that truth is an opinion, and my opinion is the truth. I seen it all my life.
Okay.
I seen it all my life. We'll really make our opinions facts, and
they're not. But anyway, I was saying that because this person, he will hold down Trump. He holding him down, and I ain't mad at you. I see what you're saying. You put it out there. You've explained it. And when I say you, I could be talking to him and you.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a matter of respecting who we are and how we show up and what good this person does a lot of really good things as well. But disrespecting the people that I respect, I had to mess with that. I had to put some time on that, had to put what is that? How am I do that? What? Let me I ain't get rid of him. But what I would do is I would love him enough to say, hey, I love you. And this is just this YouTuber. Sometimes he'll, kind of message back and stuff. I told him he reminded me of my son. And so I'm Mama Rhonda now to him too, and he get to acting up. I get to do what I do, Yeah. And so, I got to say now, help me with this. I would actually ask him, help me understand. This is what I'm thinking, and I let him kind of see what I'm seeing and then share with me, bridging the gap. I could just go in. You don't say that to these people. These people did this forever and they did this in their whole life, and you gonna say something bad about them. I could go in like that. I would never go in go in with somebody like that if I respect and value who they are and want to just clearly know better. Baby, how you got there? Why you thought that was right? Now, with me being older, I feel like I have almost an obligation because he doesn't know what he doesn't know, or either he know and he don't care, and I don't know until I have that conversation. You know what I mean? So and like I said, I'm that one. I've always been that one. I'm that one. Help me understand. What went out like this? What was you thinking? And then let me tell you something else. When I was growing up, they had a lot of teacher strikes. And so they had the mediators, the labor relations people that would come in. When I went to school for business administration. Well, I graduated and I was supposed to go back and get my master's degree in labor relations. Guess what labor relations people do? They mediate. They go to both sides and say, how are we going to do this? How are we going to walk together and not get weary? And so now I see it playing out. I didn't stay in that field. Life happened and I didn't stay in that field, but I find myself still there, understanding that there's two sides. And between those two sides, it should be a way to come to an agreement, not to agree, but to some type of understanding where you walk together. And that's where the clique coming to the collective, what can we agree that we will walk together in? You don't have to do what I do and go where I go, but when there are issues or concerns that affects the entire community, the state, the nation, though globally, this is me. I already mentioned about Julius Malema and in South Africa and the EFF on March 20th. Oh man, what I would love to see is for us on this side of the world to be able to support them in any small way. To say March 20th, we're standing with you, economic freedom fighters. It is not right for a minority of the people to hold all of the wealth. There we like saying the same thing here in America, a minority of the people holding all of the wealth, and politicians or whatever not following through for everybody, which we can't expect them to. There's one guy here, Brad Buckley. He gets our vote. He comes to the Black community and he gets our vote, or he gets some votes. I'm gonna put it like that. He gets some votes, but then when he gets up there into legislation time, you know what he does? Exactly what the Republicans tell him to do. And
you know it.
Even though he came and got our votes, and like, okay, well, how long are we gonna keep doing this? He gotta, no. We have still far to go. We still have far to go, but there are some things that should bring us together. I think I mentioned we are looking for a new superintendent here in Killeen Independent School District, right? And that requires a collective. When the majority of the students are brown and Black, we have the opportunity to have this group go and say whatever they're going to say, this group say what they're going to say, and have them look at us like, you don't have enough votes, y'all better go on somewhere. Or do we come together and go as a collective and say, hey, we're going to be involved, and we're going to make sure whoever you bring in here is not somebody that's going to continue down the road that we've been going, because these are the results. This superintendent left. Y'all probably know exactly why that superintendent left. We want some, a different direction, but it is impossible for us to do that as individuals or groups or cliques to get the impact. So that might be an example of when we really need to move as a collective.
Yeah.
When something affects many of us, it should not be 1, 2, or 3, or 10 that's going to say, hey, we need this and we need it now. And we're willing to withdraw economically. We're willing to stand in front of your shop. Some of the things. What was that? The Detroit, I think I saw something with the Detroit group. It was somebody.
Yeah, New Era Detroit.
New Era Detroit.
I'm a part of the Dallas chapter now. We're going to be starting the Central Texas chapter probably soon, but I'm part of the Dallas chapter. I go up there, I think, in a couple weeks.
Awesomeness. Okay. Man, there was somebody that one of my sons had started listening to, and while I was kind of thumbing through to see who this person was, I saw the New Era Detroit. So I don't know if he's directly with them or not. I got to remember the person's name, because I'm like, oh yeah, this me. You don't know me, but you're learning me, right? Yeah. I'm looking at the Joker is getting his handcuffs on at the school board meeting or at the council meeting. I'm like, yep, that's the dude I want to know. Yeah. Because you got to have people who will go and speak truth to power, but more importantly, you got to have power behind the person that's speaking the truth to the power. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. You could be in the closet. I mean, when I say in the closet, that means something different from my era. But you can sit on the couch and watch the TV, right? But there's a time that we're going to call you and you need to get up. You ain't got to be in the forefront. But there's going to be a time that we're going to need to come together as a collective. And because you were sitting on the couch and enjoying yourself while we were sitting at the council meeting and we were going out getting people to vote, then now it's time. It's your turn. Because you owe us a few minutes, you owe us a little bit. Because we went out and did the work. And now it's time to hold somebody accountable. Because we did the work, not just for us, we did it for you, for your children, for whatever. I feel like I'm talking too much tonight.
No, you're not talking too much. I asked the question. I'm trying to get the answers because I'm searching, and I try, and I had another conversation about a citizen today came to me about worries and questions about a certain person or people that I have already cut off. And they was like, I could tell when they were trying to ask me about the person or the people, they was kind of like nervous. And I'm like, oh no, I already cut them out for whatever situation is. And they were like, oh, okay. It was just so much. And that shows me that we're all on this tight rope, right? Even the people that really genuinely want to work with people. It's some people you just can't work with. And it's not that you're going against the group, going against the collective. It's just certain things you just can't play blind to or just be like, whatever. It's certain things you like, I done heard people talk about me, man. I can go in the room and do business with them all day. I'm not worried about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're no threat to me. You're not like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not emotionally driven like that. Where I be in my business where this person says something, I refuse to be at this meeting with this person. Like, I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? We got to do nothing. What we here for? Let's get it done. Love. You know what I'm saying? I'm like that. But there's certain things in certain situations where I can think you're the best person in the world, but I just can't do nothing with you. And it's sad because we probably could have did something great.
Right.
But I just can't for whatever the reason is, you know what I'm saying? So I talked to them and I let them know about that. And they was just so relieved. But it goes back to us. It goes to the clique. It goes to the collective, but it goes to the struggle that we have as a people that already we don't know nothing about trust. We don't know that most of us are first generation people trying business and trying. So we're learning on the job. That like me and Van had a fallout 3 years ago. We have circled back around and now we build it because like I told him, he told me where his spouse is at. I told him where mine was at. And we're learning on the job. We didn't come from uncles and dads that have been doing business that could have told us, man, you're going to go through this type of stuff. You don't worry about it. You're going to go through this. We're learning on the job. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And we're learning on the job. We're young black men that, like, when I started, it wasn't no YouTube. I didn't have no mentors where I can just go click on YouTube and listen to somebody give me motivation, somebody give me direction. I didn't have that in the early 2000s. I was just doing it. I was just like, they told me my grandpa used to have a chicken shack. About a month later, I opened up a chicken shack. I didn't even research how to do no chicken business. I went to PFG, got a little account, got the building in Bartlett, and started having a chicken shack. You know what I'm saying? So that's the part that I'm like, we're all learning. So that's why I always lead with respect because I don't have it all. And we all, even the people that got per se more or whatever you want to say, a little more knowledge, a little more money, whatever, they're still trying to find their way. They're still at the bottom when it comes to the overall who really got the money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like we're all in constant schooling and constant learning, but we have to learn how to, me and Ben could circle back around. Why? Because when we went our separate ways, it wasn't no disrespect.
Right.
It wasn't none of that. We just fell back. I fell back. He fell back. He did his thing. I did my thing. So it's easy to circle back and come back to that. Yeah, but if I was over here saying this about him, he over there doing this, and it's a mess, it's some junk, like you said, it's a mess going on. How can we double back and make that happen? It would be harder. I ain't gonna say we couldn't, but it would be extra harder.
It would be it would be much harder.
So that's what I'm saying. We go through so much, and that's why I'm like, now I'll sit at the table with anybody, even people that I know have talked bad about me. Because I don't worry about that. Like, ain't nobody put their hands on me. I'm cool. Like that was my policy in the street. Like I'm literally bringing my street policy to this side. Because in the streets, you would hear people saying something about you. And I used to be to the point. Hold on, I'm gonna run up and see what they talking about. Hold up. No, what you say?
Hold up.
I have to realize that, you know what? If they told you, but they haven't told me, that means it ain't that serious. Because if it's serious, they're going to let me know, and then we handle it how we handle it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to chase after nothing. I'm not going to chase them. That's what I teach my youngsters. Hey, we all got the right to defend yourself, but don't go after it. If it comes to you, do what you got to do. You got the right as a citizen. You got the right to defend yourself and make sure you go home tonight to your family, you know, but don't go chasing after it, you know? So that's the thing, but it goes back to mindset. It goes back to bridging the gap, because last night I was at the table with a lot of people. I'm like, these are great people. How do I build with these people though? How can we make that work? Because one lady told me, she said straight up, if it ain't no voting, she's off the table. Like, I'm like, okay. So we have to vote. No building, no collective group economics, no buying properties, no none of that. Just strictly voting. Are you done? And I think phone is messing up. But yeah, that's what we're talking about today, dog. How do we build with people we so far away from mentally? How do you do that? Because there's some people, man, some great people that I can't build with. If you got a losing strategy, we got to at least try something different. Not saying that strategy gonna be winning, but I'd rather try a brand new strategy that's unproven than a strategy that's proven to lose. And how do you build when somebody refuses to do a new strategy? How do you build with that person? And that's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what we're talking about today. Bridging the gap. I know we do it on Tuesdays. Tonight I'm doing a double header. I got Realer Than Real Estate coming up with Mike after this. And so we doubling up tonight. But me and Ms. Brown trying to figure out, how do we build together? How do we do it? You back?
Yeah, I dropped out and had to come back.
Yeah, what happened? Just service?
Yeah, I don't know. Streamline said it was them or it was me. I came back and said if it continues, then I guess I could let them know. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was just continuing the conversation of just about, like I said, I be around some good-hearted people. I know they're good-hearted. They're not bad people.
Yeah.
But we're just so far away. It's like, what can we do? Like, I don't know. Like you said, we can come together and get a candidate in. But okay, once we sit at the table to build, the candidate is in now. Now the community work starts. How do we build with that? Because now it's back to the community.
Tell me what you would like to see happen. I'm
gonna tell you what I was telling them last night. We have to be more sophisticated thinkers because we're at war. So we can't go in with, this is my belief, this is what I stand on, end all be all, whatever you say, it's a wrap. I never go into any room like that. And I got some strong beliefs, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I still go in every room realizing, okay, to get to this, to get to the end goal, it might be some stuff that's not outside of what I would do on my own. But if it benefits the total, I'm open to that. But I constantly see people that's just like I was just saying, it was a lady last night. She wasn't talking about no group economics. She wasn't talking about no building. She wasn't talking about no buying up the block. She wasn't talking about nothing. She said vote or nothing. Like, she off the table. If you ain't talking about voting, she don't care about nothing else. She done. What I'm gonna do with her? Like, what can we do?
You're gonna build without her. You're gonna look at the ones that are there to build.
See, the thing is, in our community, that is the normal. That's what I'm saying.
There are several hers. There's several people.
That's hers and hims that think exactly like that. That don't care about what you're talking about. They told me last night that we can't build unless we get somebody. We can't buy stuff. We can't buy the block unless we get a candidate in. And I'm like, hold on, I'm part of like 8 groups, and all we do is buy the block. And no, we don't have no candidates.
But they're speaking from their limited knowledge. So don't give too much.
That's the problem, though. So you didn't come in open to being really informed. You came in to really suppress us with your way of thinking, or it's the highway. How do we?
No, they came in equipped with what they equipped with. You can't.
Look, this what
that's all she got. That's all he got.
When a person that's living what I'm saying, say something, you tell me we can't do it, but I'm doing it. Like, you tell me we can't buy properties on the east side, and I own 3 on the east side, and my partner just bought 2 the other day. So what do you mean we can't do it? And I'm telling you that we're doing it. We're doing. Nobody in our office. We don't have nobody representing us yet, and we're doing it right now. Of course, we want to get her in. Yes, that's cool. But don't tell me, well, you can't do nothing that we're doing.
No one can open a closed mind that doesn't want to be open.
And that's where I'm getting at.
So we're gonna watch. We're gonna watch where we put our energy.
but
and you know that it doesn't.
Is our community though. We talk about community. We have to realize that this is our community energy for the most part. Not everybody, of course, not everybody, but I guarantee you that majority of our community think that way than my way. I guarantee you that because I see it every day. I talk to grandmas, I talk to aunties, I talk to cousins, friends. I ain't gonna say friends, but people I know of, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. This is the majority mindset in our community. How do you build with that? That's what I'm saying. Because then you get looked at as the crazy one. You get looked at as the rebel. You get looked at as the loud mouth black person. By black people, this ain't even white people naming me this. This is black people. You know what I'm saying? Black people that their life will say, "Nah, I'm gonna try something different because what I'm doing in my personal life is not winning. So I'm ready to try something different." Like we fight to stay at the bottom. That's what I'm telling the guy earlier. I said, our people are the only people that will fight you. Go to their grave fighting to stay at the bottom. What do you do about that situation?
We we're changing the narrative.
And that's why
I want you to stand firm on understanding that to change the narrative, everybody isn't changing at the pace, at the time, and if ever.
Exactly.
When you want them to.
No, but look, this is why we did the show. Because personally, I'm gonna tell you, be real. I don't care. Like I'm trying to figure out this because of like what we're building here. How do we work with people? Because to be honest with you, I don't care. I don't like people that think like that is not a plus for our community going to another level anyway. That's just being real. That, you know, it's not saying they're bad people. It's not saying that I'm better than them. None of that. People that think like that can never liberate our community ever.
No, they're not. They ain't been called to that. They just been where they are. And until they're ready to move from that space and sometimes it's until they actually see something different or whatever it is that meets their needs. See, people do things for different reasons. So right now, this is what's happening. This is what's flowing. This is where the crowd's at. When the crowd moves over because you've changed the narrative, because we are working as a collective and now you see it, you can no longer say that it can't happen. You told them yesterday it's happening. What did you mean? Yeah. We don't have to kind of you buying. Okay, I probably been like, whoo, in my mind, it'd been like, whoo, she really believe that, or he really believe that, because I know I'm over here doing it, right? They just don't know what they don't know. And people have different motives for the things that they do. And I know that for me, I keep trying to establish something that many people have never seen before. And that is us walking together, walking in unity, not saying that we agree and with everything that the other person does, but we agree in our humanity and our divinity. We agree that, watch this now. A new meme. There's nothing wrong with Black people. Something happened to Black people. That's truth. Nothing wrong with us, but something happened to us. And when we discount what happened to us, then we might become overly concerned about our actions and the things that we see.
Yeah, no, it's definitely it's systematically we the way we think, the way we operate is programmed. We're programmed to operate and think like this. I get that.
And that's
why I always tell you, I don't get mad at nobody because I understand where you at. I was there. I was there before too. Like when I brought up the Trump thing 5-10 years ago, I wouldn't have never. I'm a Democrat till I die. But I had to learn and realize that this is a game that we're just being programmed to. I'm not nothing. I'll vote Republican if you got a Black agenda. I'll vote
okay, and guess who'll be voting with you?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
But see, that's only when we come to the place where we're no longer under. I'm gonna say like under the spell of under the self-hate, the doubt, it's a real trick and a mind game that's been played on us. Definitely. And those of us that can get a level of freedom, I expect to be better this time next year than I am now. I expect to be more free and able to be a better example, being better able to communicate to my brothers and my sisters that haven't, that my life, my work, all of that matters for changing. I'm going to use your term, changing the narrative, because you are where you are. But once you come into a knowledge or an understanding, and you're exposed to something different, now you have a choice. But if you know, in this system, I'm just saying, the self-doubt, the self-hatred, the hatred for one another, that's some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's some stuff that we've had to live through.
Yeah.
I don't like you because I just don't like you. What is you doing? But you love somebody who looks different than you to run stuff. Why you love Susie, but you can't love Shaniqua?
Mm-hmm.
Why? You got to ask yourself those questions.
Yeah.
You know, you go anywhere with Susie, but with Shaniqua, you're like, no, Shaniqua, I can't take you out. You know, no, we got to fall in love with who we are right now, and then be in love with who we will become when we get back what was stolen from us. Our legacy, our dynasties were disrupted. We got to change the narrative. They were disrupted, that not destroyed. I'm gonna tell you why they not destroyed. Why our heritage, why who we are, to our core has not been destroyed. It's because of who we are. There's nothing wrong with us, but there's a whole lot of right that can allow us to go through the things that we've gone through and continue in love with those who we can love, and to continue to have hope and to build as you are doing for us. It's, yeah, you say, oh, they saying this, and they are, because they don't get us to it. For those of us who us dropped into our spirit, that's what it is. I've lived my life for us. Me is kind of foreign. I'm not even sure I know how to just live for Rhonda. Just go crazy. Just do stuff for Rhonda. I don't know. Would I find great joy in it? I don't know, but I find great joy in walking with my people, loving on my people, and building for my people, and building with my people, no matter how difficult it may be. It's not always easy, but it's okay. It's still us. At the end of the day, we did it together, no matter what. No matter who was throwing a monkey wrench and who was trying to, put the bad mouth on it, and guess what? It still got done. So, but everybody not fashioned the same, so you have to accept that. But the way I did, the way I operate is, they have to see it. So it urges me to continue to grow, to develop, and to become who I need to become, so that others can see. And oftentimes when you think of African culture, they live their lives for those that are coming after them. Right now, we're living our lives for the moment, for the right now, for the good time. And we're not thinking about those who are right behind us and those that are going to come years later. That's why you're on the bill, Tony, because now I got to leave something here. I got to build it, and I got to leave something. And that used to be the norm before it was disrupted by another culture, another people who meant us no good.
Yeah.
And the destruction is real, and it's all around us, and we see it.
No,
not destroyed, disrupted.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of that, and like I said, you got to play past it. Like
We got to play past it.
The main reason, like, these shows are for these kind of conversations, right? Because before these shows, I felt and seen and thought the same thing. I just played past it. I don't, because at the end of the day, my mission gonna be complete without you, whatever. I just played past it. So
yeah,
and so it wasn't no thing. I bring them up now because I feel like to really change the narrative, we have to put a mirror in front of ourselves, because that's what I do on the daily. Yes. But we have to do it for our community too.
We are that mirror.
I've been saying, like, the last couple of weeks, don't ever think I'm mad or upset or unfocused. These are just things that I'm like, hold on, let me put a mirror in front of our people. This is what's going on.
Okay.
So, it might sound like a rant or something, but my grandma never tell you, this is how he talked to us. Like, he to us that we tripping because of the way we think and the way we programmed. And you know what I'm saying? Like, me and her didn't have the conversations about the political thing. And and Trump is the boogeyman and this and that. And I said, Grandma, you have been here a precious 82 years. They all the boogeyman. It ain't no Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like the one you love the most is even more detrimental to us than that man. So we have and we have to have a point where somebody telling you that you can see the reality in it instead of the, oh, you got me messed up. He loved, you know what I'm saying? Like we get more personalized and we want to defend somebody that wouldn't dare defend us. His policy shows he wouldn't dare defend us. But we really defend this person instead of saying, you know what? Yeah, I voted for him, but you're right. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't did nothing for us. I mean, I don't know how you go back and forth with a truth if it's the truth. You know,
you really don't go back and forth with it. You drop it and let it alone.
Yeah. Not back and forth. Just
I ain't ready. You know, whoever, they just not ready. There's some things that probably people will say and have said to me, and I just wasn't ready. But you left it at the door. Yeah. I know where it's at. I know what you said. I know how it hit, and I know whether I was ready to receive that or not.
So I think you're agreeing with me then, right? We can't build with everybody. That's what we get into.
No, we can't build with everybody, but we need to move as a collective on things that impact the collective. Okay. So if it's Youth Backyard Garden Initiative, everybody can't come along and do what we do. You know, whatever it is I'm involved in. Some people still may, you know, but when it affects the collective, we're a superintendent impacts how many lives in our community? I can't go. Y'all didn't help at the acre. I ain't coming over there with y'all. No, if I have something to contribute, I owe it to my community and I owe it to the collective to show up.
I got you on that. That's.
But you can't build with everybody, and you don't. That's just what it is. But sometimes we have to move as a collective, and moving as a collective, the only example we gave was voting. I have the example of superintendent, and then we can go back to voting again. But I stepped all the way outside of that world, and people have to accept that I've done that. Yeah. So the people that, you know, hey, come over and I did this and I did that. Well, I'm not doing that anymore because it's yielded me nothing. So what they say, what's crazy? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting some different results. Definitely. Well, I done moved away from that. No. I got a little message from a lady running for Congress, and she was like, oh, we have all these seats and they're unopposed. And I'm like, yes. And that has been continuously. So why would I align myself with a party who can't even get candidates? Why would I do that? But I tell you what I can do. I can be involved in my community and I can build. Yeah. That's something that, you know, but this other stuff.
Yeah. And that's where I'm about the community and building. That's what I was coming at. But I guess I was just in a room full of nothing but voters. So
you were in the voter registration line.
Yeah.
You was in the training and then.
And like I say, it's that's a piece of it. That's a piece of the puzzle.
It's a piece.
Yeah, it's a piece of it. But it's not the biggest piece that we think it's the biggest piece, and it's really like the smallest piece. Because I can show you groups that vote way less than us that got way more than us. So we can't say that the vote, and then we vote at a 93, 94% rate for Democrats. What has it got us?
Yeah.
We can't even get a Democrat right now to say reparations, and we give them all our votes.
Just say it. And I was watching during the elections. Who's gonna say they were running? They really I seen all of that. They like, just stop talking and start running.
Yeah, you know.
And so
it's disrespectful, but it's disrespectful because we allow it. Why do we allow it? Because we don't build and do nothing on our own. Like if we get somebody in there, that's great. But if we got institutions, if we got community groups coming together doing, if we start showing that type of front, oh yeah, we're gonna get somebody to start listening.
Yeah,
but we won't do that. We just want to vote and then go home. I told you, we just vote, praying, and go home and hope everything gonna be all right.
And nothing's wrong with us. Something happened to us.
But like I said in my book, everything that's done to us is systematic, right?
So then we have to systematically turn it around.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what I said. It's all systematic, but it's now it's our fault. Back then when it was set up, it was set up for us to do that. Now we know the trick bag. and it's still 2023 and we still going for it. 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, okay, I get it. 2000s, internet coming in, more information, stuff that wasn't available to us in the 80s and 90s, where you could type in the computer and learn more than you can learn at school now. And we still coming up short. That's why we got to be found out. That's why
I have a 61 Cadillac sitting in my garage. Mm-hmm. It's been sitting there. And there was a little bit wrong with it, right? And then I sent it to get worked on, right? Couldn't even drive it home. Now it's sitting there again, right? Beautiful car, has the capability of doing everything, make just Sunday drives. I can just see myself in them, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But it's not happening until it happens. Until the right people come along, they have the right skills to deal with that car, deal with me, and get it back on the road. And so let's look at what we're doing as we got to get back on the road. It takes some work. Sometimes we'll go to the wrong place looking for the right thing, and we'll find out we got the wrong thing and even in worse condition than when we went. But we have to learn that. But those who have the skills need to be in doing the work and get us back on track.
Yeah.
Some people, they just runt. Some people are just runt. And they don't even know it. They think I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's all their fault. I've seen it. I've heard it. And I'm like, I don't think like that. But that's exactly, no, they had choices. They could have did something different. You can't say that because you didn't live out their experience. And then systematically, it was very frustrating for me as an educator, when I saw all the things I saw, and parents would, maybe there was a day when parents would automatically jump to the side of the teacher. You don't know how that child has been treated when you wasn't in that classroom. Yeah. You don't know what that child has experienced. You don't know what has been, especially if you don't have that level of open communication. Now I'm sitting here and I know the tone and the things. Like for me, I was that kid. And this was in the 60s, 70s, I was born in 60s. Yeah. So no, the teacher couldn't talk to me any kind of way. Yeah. I might get in trouble because they're going to call home. But by the time I get home, it's like they said this and they did that. And they're like, well, you can't do that, girl. And I'm like, well, I didn't know I couldn't do it. That's the tone she gave me anyway. Whatever excuses I had for my poor behavior. But no, I had an expectation. I knew what my mom and my daddy expected out of me. So when I got to the schoolhouse, I expected teachers to teach. I expected them to be respectful. And, sometimes that's just not.
Yeah, not the way.
That's not the way it is. So we really have to depend on one another a lot. Because people would say, maybe that, I know one of the, she too easy on them or whatever. When I was an administrator, I didn't have kids repeating the same offense. I did not. I didn't. We had this little thing and we worked that thing out and we figured it out and we understood. Now this right here, not again, not this. Because now you've learned, you see all of everything, you got it right. Never the same thing twice. They had to come up with some new stuff.
Yeah.
So they can learn, because that's what we're there for, to help nurture and grow them. But some people think, no, I don't know what they think they're there for. To push papers around on the desk. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just equipped different, not any better or anything like that. I just know the way I walked.
Yeah.
And the collective, we need to go. We need to understand. Oh, I know what it was. You were talking, and oh man, it hurt me. Who was it that said it? It was somebody talking. It was today. Oh no, it was somebody. I think I mentioned it to you already. That said they don't see color and they look like me.
Oh yeah.
What that mean? I'm not sure.
He or she don't want to hear all that black talk. Everybody, that yeah. Everybody, I don't want to hear that stuff, y'all. You're a little too black for that person. That's what they were saying.
That's the reason why we're not moving forward. or that's the reason why we haven't come together as a collective.
Yeah.
We are Black. And like I said, I came up in the era of I'm Black and I'm proud. So I ain't just Black. I'm proud to be Black. And that's something to deal with. Not for me.
Yeah.
But for anybody who rubs up against me. What are you so proud to be? Yes, I'm proud. I'm extremely proud. And even more proud. Proud every day. The more I know about myself, my history, my people. Yes.
As you should be.
Yes.
And that's what we got to promote and push. And we got to just stay away from what I like to call jailhouse conversations.
Okay.
Jailhouse back and forth. Everybody want to be, well, no, we need to do this. I'm the smartest. You know, like we like outdo each other. And I say that's what people in jail do. They just sit back. I read a book, so I'm smarter than you. And that's why I stick with solutions, because okay, you so smart. What's the solution to this?
Right.
Because if you just forget all the talk and the big words and this and that, what's the solution to get this fixed?
Yes.
A lot of people stop talking so much and get quiet, because no matter how many books you read, solutions gonna come after you read. Then you're gonna have to put it together to come up with a solution. You can't just read and have a solution. You can read and it gives you components to figure out a solution, but you won't figure out the solution by reading. So I don't care how many books you read. What's the solution to this after you read that book? Give me that information. You know, right. So just stay solution based, and once you're doing that, you like I said, you can care less how people feel, what they say about you. You're less emotional driven. And I told them last night, we have to stop being so emotional. We have to stop being my point of view wasn't heard at the table, so I don't want to hear nobody else's point of view. I feel like I have the best nonprofit at the table, so I should be the leader. Like stuff like that is just like, you can't, like, whatever. I don't even want to get on that, but
it's reality. But it is the reality. And you said about being a mirror. Number one, we're looking at ourselves, and as we look at ourselves and perfect our image, then when others look at us, they see the mirror that is us.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can be disturbing, but it's not about us. It's really not. It's really not. Because if you come to the table and you're not self-serving and I'm self-serving, guess what you just did? You just showed up at the table and made me mad.
Yeah.
You ain't did nothing. You don't even know I'm over here. I'm hot. Look at that joker walking in integrity. I can't stand him. Because of the mirror. But we gotta make sure that we walk in the image in which we've been created.
And don't worry about all that. Like I always say, Farrakhan gave, I got the best quote ever from Farrakhan when he was like, so if I feel like whatever I feel about a certain person, a certain group or whatever, me voicing it out, me going to tell everybody, me bad mouthing them don't mean nothing. He said if you feel like that glass is dirty, set a clean one next to it. So I don't need to say how dirty you are, how bad you are. All I have to do is do my work, and people
and it's enough.
People see, well, let me just deal with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that gets me more.
That's awesome.
That's more powerful to connect to your people than me bad mouthing this person. Because if you
because then they done put you down, you lost your in the Christian faith, you lost your witness. Your witness, you just tore it up. You just tore it up. You just tore it up.
I'm not even gonna reply. And I have people say that, man, like, bro, you didn't even reply. You didn't say nothing. I heard the things that were said about you last year. I don't need to, like, the community. The community know what I've been doing for 20 years.
Yeah,
I'm talking about from the streets to now. They know me. Like, there's nothing here from the community. I don't got to defend myself not to this community. Maybe somebody else that never
heard another community.
But this community, this the wrong community to down talk me in, because they know me. They know my story, and they know everything from the 12-year-old runaway to the 40-year-old opening up the House of Resources. This area know me. You can't badmouth me in this area. You might go to. Well, no, I'm known in California too, but it's you can find somewhere that you can badmouth me in, but this is the wrong area. So why would I respond? And then they told me I developed so much more respect for you because you
didn't respond.
Because you didn't respond.
And you just walking in who you are, because when I was in the school and I was doing what I was doing, a lady said to me that I was really powerful, right? And I feel like I'm being mistreated. I can't get a promotion and whatever. I don't feel powerful, but she knew that I was powerful because in spite of all of that, I continued to walk in the integrity that is mine, doing what it is that I do best, holding up a standard that is mine. Doesn't have to be anybody else's, but I'm not coming off of my standard to make somebody else feel comfortable. And that was amazing to me when she said that. She said, "You are so powerful." And I was like, what is she talking about? Why did she say that? But yeah, and I love it. That glass next to it. You have.
I'm not gonna scream, "That's a dirty glass." I'm just gonna put my clean glass to
Thank
it.
you. No black on black crime.
Yeah,
I might scream about some. Let me stop. I'm gonna holler at other folks' dirt that hurt us.
Yeah,
I can do that. If you do some dirt and it hurts us, then I get to say, "No, that joker dirty. Watch out." But when it comes to us, we gotta, pull to the side, back up, see how much. There's times that we will have to approach people if they're doing damage to the collective, and so all of that has to happen. The other day you put people on notice.
Yeah.
You might not support me, but you're gonna watch me though.
Yeah.
I love it.
Don't block me or don't unfriend me. Keep me as a friend.
Keep me right there. I need you to
I want you to watch this. You know what I'm saying?
Too funny.
We hit the hour. So as closing, what's the words that you're gonna leave us for?
Oh my!
We talked about a lot. I don't know if we need a part 3 or what. Did we get to the bottom of it or what? I don't know.
The time will tell. Time will tell if we got to the bottom of it. And I would just, say that we have to identify our individual build, identify groups that we can work with within the build, and then also be prepared to move as a collective. Without moving as a collective, it can weaken all of the other components. So.
And I agree with that, and I'm with that, and I'm down. Yeah. Hey, that's why I showed up yesterday. It wasn't my room. I told a couple of guys, I said we have a different conversation at the House of Resources, but you know what I'm saying. Hey, but I'm here to respect everybody's opinion and everybody's view. But when you come over there, we talking more power over there. We're not, we're not talking from victim standpoint.
Right.
So, and it was great. Like I said, met a few people I never met. Sold a few books.
Awesome.
And had a couple people come. One person came last night. I introduced them to it, and then a couple more people coming later on this week. So whatever. Hey, it was good. It's about building. Slow.
Yeah. So I'm gonna drop this, and then we're gonna let it go.
Drop it.
It's the difference between being on the beg and being on the build.
Oh yeah.
Mess with it. Mess with it. I'm gonna mess with it because it just dropped in.
I'm gonna say
it look different when you're on the beg and when you're on the build. Yeah. Feel different.
That's the mic drop right there. Well, this was another episode of Bridging the Gap. This is our Wednesday edition. We normally do Tuesday, but I got out that meeting late last night, and I didn't want held her too late last night because it would have been about 9 something. We already got it enough of that the week before, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But as always, I love our meetups, love our conversation. Thanks for what you do behind the scenes that we don't talk about enough. Maybe we have to talk about that too. But with dropping your nephew off and helping me out, like that goes a long way. I really appreciate that because that's you going out your way, not only bringing your nephew, but you driving down the highway. You know what I'm saying? Then dropping them off and coming back, like. You're doing more than just offering somebody to volunteer. You're going out your way to make sure the volunteer get to me.
And that's because that's the collective mindset.
For sure.
What I can do, I need to do. Yeah. And so, I just want to what we do. Great joy.
Yeah. I just want to say, I want to tell you publicly, I thank you because, I tell you thank you every day, but it's just a thank you and you keep going. So, I want to make it more of a substantial. I appreciate you. I appreciate your energy, your wisdom, and just our conversations. So
you are more than welcome. It is a joy. Hey, somebody building. I'm trying to make sure you have what you need, okay, or what I can contribute. That's my part.
That's what we do.
So, and then I just invite everybody else. Come on, we'll get there quicker. But if you don't, we're gonna still build. Watch this.
Yeah, just watch it.
We're gonna still build.
Yeah, we're gonna be there.
Yeah,
so appreciate you. This was a great episode. Thank for everybody that tapped in and people that's going to tap in. We'll see y'all next Tuesday back at 8 o'clock at the regular time. And y'all have a great night.
All right. Good evening, everyone.